What is up, fellows, fellowettes, and fellow copters? It's your boy, Defrano, and I'm here because I have been seeing something going on, right? And everybody seems to be on one side of this, and I can't believe it. I absolutely could not believe it. I can't believe the side these people are taking because it absolutely baffles me with all the evidence that we have, and they're still deciding to pick this. Now, I'll tell you, of course, I'll show you right now, right? It's this. Go to YouTube, right? Go to YouTube. Obviously, click into it, and then you just search Logan Paul. That's right. I'm talking about Logan Paul's supposed scam. Look at this. What is this? What is this? Get this crap out of here. These people just have the story wrong, and this guy basically rounded up to Hitler, okay? No, rounded down to Hitler. Yeah, basically. He's insane. This is insane. This man he's done nothing wrong. Of course, he's done nothing wrong. He's tried to run a business, and now his business is getting deflated. And this is me, right? Okay, hold on. This is me, right? I'm out here on my hands, hands and knees, well, basically my knees, just praying, right? I'm here praying, right? I got some nice, beautiful eyes, good hair. This is me. I'm out here praying that the rest of the world, right? They basically hear my calls, right? They hear my calls of injustice about this man right here, right? Logan Paul, and how he has done absolutely nothing wrong. And I hope that my words, make it past this injustice right here and get to Logan Paul. I hope that's what happens. I hope it reaches him in his core, right? I hope this happens. But I don't know if he's going to see this, right? I'm a small YouTuber, but whatever. We'll go over something that everybody keeps seeming to want to talk about, and it's like evidence, right? Evidence. Apparently that's like key or something, you need evidence to prove that Logan Paul scammed. So first off, let me do this, right? We've seen all this, right? Okay. So first off, they call it a scam. I need a new tab here. Let's look up scam definition, okay? A dishonest scheme or fraud, basically. A guy that scams the elderly out of their savings. A scam is something, it's a dishonest scheme, right? And so for this, you would have to understand right now, this is basically what's happening, right? Zoo token, they're saying zoo token or whatever the hell this game was. I don't know because I don't do research. You don't need to do research on this to understand it completely. You just don't need to. But they're saying the zoo token game was a scam. Now that would have to mean that this zoo tokens thing was a dishonest scheme, however you want to say it. It was dishonest, which it totally wasn't, alright? First of all, Logan Paul is a businessman, right? Here's Logan Paul. Again, he's a businessman. And how do I know this? This is because he had the business hat. And I'm not talking like a top hat. When I say business hat, I mean Logan Paul hat, right? This is a businessman's hat, right? Now you all may be thinking, oh, well, on this day he obviously made the worst decision of his life. Wrong. That would have been your viewpoint of it right then. But now this was a business move, right? And then here's his debacle. This is you viewing it like at the time. It was just a terrible decision he made. Wrong. Now in the future, we have evidence that this this absolute horrendous thing was absolutely not. It was, I don't know. That's his business hat, right? Let's make it green. That's his business hat, right? Okay, his business, because he's a businessman. This hat gives you +5 in business, basically. But we can find out that this is actually one of the best business choices he's ever made in his life. So we'll look at the evidence here, right? to prove that Logan Paul is in fact a businessman. This is what I need to prove first, because it is very important to prove first step he's a businessman. Okay? So you may view that as something bad, but no, Logan Paul was on the decline already, some would say, I would say, and I'm all that matters, okay? So I would say he was on a decline. Now, Logan Paul here, he doesn't know what to do, right? He wants to reinvent himself so he can be back up here. So he doesn't know what to do, right? He puts on the hat, he puts on the business hat, and then he goes and does what he does. Now, some may think that that was that had no, like, he had no business doing that, right? But it was a metaphor, right? It was a metaphor for what Logan Paul would become, because he had to kill him, or his old self, right? He had to kill old Logan Paul. This guy needed to be gone so that from the ashes, let's move this over here. From the ashes, he could be reborn again, right? This is him getting up from the ashes. He of course has his business hat on. It's drooping down like this. Businessman, right? He's a businessman through and through, right? So this was basically a metaphor for him becoming a new person. And why might he want to do this? He wants to be up here. But old Logan Paul was not known as the type of guy that would get him up here. In fact, old Logan Paul is this downtrend. Old Logan Paul, bad, not good with fans anymore. He needs to reinvent himself or be born again through the ashes. So he has to kill himself, right? And he wants to be known as something new. So what's the opposite of old Logan Paul? New Logan Paul. Business savvy Logan Paul. So he has done this all for reputation, right? He had to remake his image. A businessman's move. That's what a businessman would do. He thinks about his image. He thinks about where he could make, what he could do with this image, and all that, right? So now, point one proven, right? Logan Paul is a businessman. Okay? He's a businessman. So, step 2 is, what is the point of this zoo token game? Right? Now, I'm not smart, but Logan Paul is also a very giving man, as demonstrated in the first picture I drew. A very giving man, right? So he wants to make money as a businessman. Okay, Logan Paul, businessman. He wants to make money, right? He wants to make money. How do you make money? So you can make money by creating a business, or a game. This game is going to be considered a business. So Logan Paul wants to make money from this business, right? So that would be step 1. And of course, this basically disproves everything about why Logan Paul was texting about getting money at the beginning, because what are you going to do in a business? You're going to make money, right? That's how you do it. You make money. And isn't everything basically just a scam anyways, right? What do you get for your money? Nothing important, unless you're buying food and water. Thank God you don't have to pay for air, but because that would be a total scam. But everything else is a scam. You don't need it. You don't even need a house. Lots of people live without a house, and they live, right? Okay? So, him texting his what he thought at the time. Now, future, like, I could probably be hired for Logan Paul because I'm a smart man. I'm a businessman. Unfortunately, I don't have a criminal record. So, that probably, most certainly, definitely disqualifies me for all his jobs. And unfortunately, his inner circle of people, they met the qualifications, right? I think there was like 3 of them or something. First qualification, bad person, because Good guys don't win. You hear it all the time. Good guys come last. So you need to hire a bad person, right? 2, criminal record. Criminal record. Wreck, baby. And not only that, step 3, they need to be good at lying, because all businessmen are good at lying. That is a key point of, because how else, if you tell people basically, no, you need this computer, you need this new version of a phone, you need the new Madden, you need the new FIFA every single year, they are lying to you. You do not need this. You just don't need it. That's a lie. So to be a businessman, you need to be good at lying. Criminal record, that's just so you know that this guy is a changed man, just like Logan Paul. Remember, he's a changed man, rose from the ashes. He's a phoenix. He's Jesus. He's all of this. And a bad person, good guys finish last. So his inner circle met all of this requirements. So that was just, and the inner circle, he's talking with his inner circle, right? Of course he is, because this is what business people do. They talk, all right? And as soon as you understand that business people talk, like I said, they talk and they lie, they do all this good stuff. You understand that they will talk about their business, right? And they're thinking of ways how to make the most money, because that is the number one rule of a business. And you can lie to yourself and say, you start a business for fun and this is your dream job. No, it's to make money. All the other stuff you say to other people so that they feel bad about not starting a business in it for, like, if they don't have fun or whatever, right? Their main focus should be on the money. So they're talking, right? They're texting all the way. They're texting, they're doing their texties to each other, and they're saying, how are we going to make the most money, right? They actually come up with a very, very, very good a very smart legal businessman savvy way of doing this, right? They don't tell people when they're launching their little game deal, so that they can buy all the stuff at a lower price. Smart. This is what I'm saying. Smart. And then when everybody else buys, the price goes up, so that they've made money in their business. Now, what part of this sounds like a scam to you? Remember the definition of a scam. Scam definition: a dishonest scheme. In what part of this guy starting a business is this dishonest? What part? Because you're giving him his money, or you're giving him the money. That's what happens in a transaction. You give them money, you get something in return. And what did you get in return? You got your zoo token bull crap, whatever, right? And basically, he said it was a game. It was technically a game. I don't think the game side, I don't know how far it is, but that's unimportant, right? Unimportant, because that is based, now there's videos saying, they could make Logan Paul's game in 3 hours or something. All right, but you're not making the super awesome, mega, ultra amazing edition that Logan Paul is making. You have no idea how good that game is going to be. So maybe he needs more time, right? He needs 4 years. They make a Madden every year. That game's dog shit, right? The quality of the game keeps going down. It's not good. So he, being the smart man, right? He's got his business hat on. He's like, I need to make a game good, and the more time you put into it, the more quality the game will be. That is just a fact that some people could say. All right? That is just a fact some people could say. Right? It's just a sentence you could say, right? The more time you put into something, the better it will be. That's something people could say. Right? So now that we have all that, right? What part of that even sounds like a scam? So you gave him his money, he used the money, right? Right? He's still making his game. He's still putting all your hard-earned money into the game, right? Here's his game. This is where your money is going. What part of this is a scam? Now, unfortunately, remember those qualifications needed for the inner circle of people here? Unfortunately, that kind of that backfired a bit. Sometimes that'll happen in a business, right? When you're dealing with people that are business minded, they all know that some of them get cold feet and they don't stick with the business. They're like, I'm out. I'm not going to continue with this business because I see a small check for me guaranteed here. Right, they have a small check. Here's the small check right here. But in the future, this check could be big with the game. Logan Paul sees this. He knows this. This is why he did not sell. Logan Paul is this, right? Logan Paul's a businessman. A businessman. A phoenix. Jesus, all of this. He rose from the ashes. Business, right? This is everyone else. They're too small-brained. They don't know what they're talking about, and they get out early. So they pull all their stuff out. Logan knows this. He is a nice, caring, giving guy. He says, guys, no, you will make more money if you wait on this because the game's going to be so awesome when it releases and everybody will want to buy this. So you will make more money over here. Trust me. But these small brain drooling idiots, right? They're all like, don't know nothing. Just don't know anything. They sell here. And Logan Paul had to get rid of them. He had to because they basically forced their way out of his business. They said, I'm going to hit the road, Jack. I'm going to take the money and run. But you, hey, your business, you can be the owner now, right? So that's what happened there, right? That whole criminal record, like they see the small amount, they're not businessmen. They're just businessmen. See, this is a businessman's tactic. This is a businessman's tactic. Somebody who's risen from the ashes knows that at the end of the tunnel, greatness can be achieved, right? That's something some people could say, all right? Those are just facts, Okay, so now we've proved the first one, right? The first rule. What was the first rule again? Oh yeah, Logan Paul, businessman. Okay, we'll go like this. Businessman. Okay, I just kind of, hold on. One sec. That looks hideous. Businessman. He's a businessman, right? And 2, he made a business. He made a game. He's making a game. The game is in progress. The game in progress, right? Game is in progress. Here's the loading wheel. Game's in progress. 3, this is your third little bit of evidence here that basically, I think everybody is just brainwashed. Here's a brain, here's a rag. Everyone is brainwashed, right? Everyone is brainwashed into just going along with everybody else. Everybody else knows Logan Paul is actually on top of the earth. Anything he does, if you include his name into anything, that's good. Now, another trend people see is you want to be on the right side of this arrow, because if you're not, you're on this side. And currently, even if you have 2 out of 3 people giving the wrong opinion, they are actually right. This is our one smart person right down here, right? He's a businessman. This is probably me. He's right. He's correct in every facet. Probably handsome, huge cock, everything. He has all the attributes. So this is our smart person. He is right, but unfortunately he is 1 out of 3. Even if these people are brainwashed, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that this guy is right. He knows the truth. He knows that this thing was not a scam. I repeat, not a scam. It is a business, not a scam. Because we look at the definition, a dishonest scheme. What part of you giving your money to a business and them putting that money towards the game for the game to be made is dishonest, right? What part of that is dishonest? You tell me. I'm waiting. Okay, I didn't think so. So these 3 idiots right here believe this is a scam. Now, in the room of these 3 right here, they're all saying, these 2 saying, hey man, like this is a scam. We have our smart genius over here saying, no, it's not. That forces the arrow up, right? Even if this is wrong, this could be wrong, right? This is where the arrow's heading up. 2 is bigger than 1. Okay? 2 is bigger than 1. We all know this. We're all smart people here, right? 2 is bigger than 1. So 2 is on the up arrow. Now, everybody sees this up arrow on the internet, right? New. Don't save. Everybody sees this up arrow, right? 2 is bigger than 1. Everyone sees the up. It's going up, and this was a lie. The 2 was a lie. The 1 was the truth, okay? The truth. And we all know the truth is it was not a scam. But now you see the trend going up like this. And in stocks, we all know you want to be going this way. You want to be going up. You want to be going with the crowd. So now everybody else is kind of forced to go with the lie when siding because they see this is going up. This is probably what's right, even though it's not. So they all bandwagon onto this side, okay? They're all bandwagoners. All of them. Every single one of them. Just bandwagoning onto the lie. And now everyone believes that Logan Paul is a scammer, and I'm disgusted because it is the farthest thing from the truth. All right, so now we have that. What is number 4? You say, what more can you have? CoffeeZilla, this guy, he is he assumes too much, right? He assumes for what he's saying. He assumes way too much. He assumes, right? What do they say about assume? It makes an ass of you and me. Except I can't be viewed as an ass, so it's literally just making CoffeeZilla an ass. All right. So he assumes. Now, how does he do this? First thing I noticed about CoffeeZilla, he's saying, first off, well, he said at end of conclusion, he said Logan Paul has not made any money on his business yet. So maybe that was the dishonest part. Maybe it is a scam then, I guess. Maybe the dishonest part was, hey, I'm going to make a lot of money from my business. You guys are going to give me the money, and we will all make more money together, right? That's his business plan. Maybe it didn't happen because of his other people. No, it's still not a scam, okay? Don't think like that. That only makes sense if you think about it. We don't do that here. We don't think about stuff. We just go with cold hard facts. And the facts are this is not a scam. Okay. So what was I even talking about now? Oh yeah, CoffeeZilla saying Logan Paul didn't make any money. Unfortunate, he didn't sell because he believes in his game. He knows as a businessman, the bigger paycheck for this game is if it rides out long term. He knows he's not tricked by the short gain millions, right? Not tricked. He's a smart man, businessman, green hat, right? Phoenix. Okay, good. All right. And now CoffeeZilla saying, well, this businessman, this smart businessman is actually an idiot. Not true. Logan Paul is not an idiot. Now, he basically says Logan Paul's an idiot for hiring criminals. I said criminals make the best businessman. And what do you want to run your business? You want businessmen to run your business. Or businesswomen. Or business helicopters. Whatever. You want a business-minded person there. So he hired business people. So that's the first mistake. Second mistake is, what else did Coffee basically said, Zoo, if the game sucks, right? That's subjective. That's in his mind, right? People thought this game was good. Let me show you this game. This game is not good. You may know what I'm drawing here. This is Flappy Birds. This game was dog shit. Unfortunately, everybody thought this game was good, right? This game is not good. Flappy Bird, not good. Not a good game. Everyone thought it was a good game, though. Alright? So, basically what I'm saying is, a game can be viewed as good or bad. Right? That's very subjective. Now, some people could say it's bad, but to Logan, this game was insanely good. And remember, he's a businessman now. So Logan is insane, right? He's super smart. He says this game is awesome. That's already, so now we're at this 1 out of 1, right? 1 out of 1, because CoffeeZilla, right? He's over here basically saying, hey, this game sucks. Now this makes the line like this, and you don't know what side to be on. Unfortunately, we are going to have to take Logan's side here because if you remember, Logan Paul, on top of the earth. Where's CoffeeZilla? Nowhere to be seen. Okay, so now we take Logan's side. So that means Logan's correct. This is actually a fun and good game. Amazing how that works, okay? Amazing the facts. The facts. They're indisputable. And what else could even be there to like prove that this was a scam? Like after after I debunked a scam, right? A dishonest scheme, and I showed that this had all the intent in the world, right? Logan intended to make money off his business. So where's the dishonesty in this? Where is it? Yeah, didn't think so. So approve that. Second, that's really it. That's all you need to know, right? So Logan Paul, if you're hiring, for like somebody to basically be on your side, back you up, I'm there. I'm your guy. Unfortunately, I don't know if you could hire me because I don't have a criminal record. I'm not like a crypto king scammer or whatever. I don't do any of that. But I'll be there. Remember, I'm the guy on his hands and knees, right? I'm this guy praying. Everyone sees this CoffeeZilla guy for what he truly is. This is me, right? I'm this guy. I'm this guy, right? I'm here defending you from everything, right? I'm here. I'm this guy. What is this? That's not what I wanted. I'm here. I'm this guy, bro. Me and you, we got this, brother. Me and you, we got this. Me and you out here. I've got my cool little hair. I'm praying to the world about the injustices. I'm praying. I hope my prayers get to this man right here, Logan Paul, right? I hope that they do. I really do. And this is businessman Logan Paul rising from the ashes. I hope that this injustice, that my voice over here makes it past all this injustice straight to you. I really do. And I hope it just hits you in the core. I hope that happens, okay? So, now that I've proved that I've basically proven this, right? I've proven that it's not a scam. One, not a scam. Not scam. Not scam, okay? And two, I've proven how brainwashed people can make a lie basically seem like the truth. So, there's that. This is not a scam. Zoo game, token game, whatever he made, not a scam. Conclusion, I think so. So now that we're all on the same page, we all know that Logan Paul is actually still a good person, right? That's basically all I had to say on this matter of fact. Now, I hope you guys see it that way too. So, yeah. Peace out.